Hey guys, it's Auri coming live and direct from Fuzhou. It's been a really long time since I've recorded a video. Come to think of it, it's been almost like 2 months since I've recorded like an actual vlog. So I feel like this is long overdue. So much has happened within the last, 4 months now. I got here in February and it is now June? It's now June. Oh my gosh. So since the last time I've done a video, I've been to Hong Kong, been to a few other provinces in China that aren't too familiar to many, but they are very popular, like Guangzhou, Xiamen. I've also been planning a very big trip, which I plan to talk about in another video. Let's just get right into it. Okay, so today I'm going to just talk about how exactly I made my way to China. It was really spur of the moment. I've noticed through talking to a lot of other teachers, we all kind of have the same thing in common. Like, we're all at a stage in our lives where we didn't really know where to go next, or we were in transition between college and the real world and getting a real job, and we just weren't ready for that. Or there are people who were just like, I hate my job, I'm just gonna give it all away and go abroad. For me, it was a matter of not knowing where I wanted to be, and also not really enjoying life back in the States.
Oh, hell no!
So in the States, I was a model. I was signed with my agency for about 2 or 3 years, give or take. I had been doing a lot of freelance stuff throughout college. I love modeling. It's always been a passion of mine. I'm like almost 6 foot. I can walk. I am fairly photogenic, if I can't toot my own horn. Yeah, I was just not really feeling happy modeling. Modeling is a completely different video I'll talk about at a later date. But yeah, so I was modeling and doing a bunch of like just waitressing jobs and stuff. After a while, I was just like, I need a change. So I applied to be a flight attendant with a few airlines. As I was applying, me and my friend Kenya took a trip to California for a month to house sit. So we were doing that, and you know, I'm still waiting to hear back from the airlines. And while we were out there, she put a bug in my ear to go abroad and teach. She was telling me about how she had spent time out in Asia, and it really sounded appealing. I had never thought about moving to Asia, and so yes, so she was telling me about that, and I thought it was a good idea. You know, if you know me, you know that I'm very spur of the moment. Like, I do my own thing. If I decide next week that I want to cut my hair, 9 times out of 10 I'm going to cut my hair. I'm very spontaneous. So when she started telling me about this, I was like, alright, let's look some things up. Maybe we could do something together. And she's like, okay, cool. So I started researching places. We started calling recruiters like the next day. Recruiters are the companies that basically put you in contact with schools abroad. It's really hard to get a job overseas if you've never been to that country, if you know nothing about their school system. So we started getting in contact with recruiters, and we were there for a month, and everything just kind of went so quick. I did 2 interviews out in California with different recruiters, and I was getting accepted through them. When you're accepted, they say, okay, you seem like a good candidate. We've got a list of schools that are interested in teachers. So yeah, I was getting accepted by recruiters and everything. Fast forward towards the end of our stay in California, I did my 2nd interview with the most promising airline. Thought I did pretty good, but I didn't get it. Talking to friends and family, and I was just like, so, you know, if I don't get this airline job, I'm thinking of teaching in China. Ugh. My first option was Korea. So I'm telling everybody that I'm going to Korea. They're like, maybe airlines, more stability in that. And I'm like, okay, cool. But then the airline thing doesn't go through. So now I'm just like, looks like I'm going to Korea. South Korea. So yeah, I get back home and I'm doing interviews with schools now, and there were a few schools that were really interesting. The school that I decided to join looked the most interesting and the most, it had a lot of reviews. Reviews are very important when looking for schools. If there aren't people vouching for them on the internet, if they're too new, then 9 times out of 10 you don't know what you're going to be getting. And moving across the freaking ocean, you want to make sure that you're going to be in like the most legitimate place possible. After looking at my school, I was just like, okay, this will be it. Oh my gosh. Backtrack. I originally wanted to go to South Korea. Unfortunately, circumstances would have that I couldn't go this year. I had to get paperwork figured out in order to go there. So the recruiter that I was talking to for South Korea was like, China's also a very good option. So I started looking into China, found a school, interviewed with them, they loved me. Then came the tedious part because there was a bunch of paperwork that you have to do to get here. But after doing all that, I shipped off and I came here. Now, I'd definitely say that if you want to move abroad, you have to have a sense of just like free will and spontaneity. Like, moving abroad is a pretty big deal for me. I was at a point in life where I was just unhappy with everything that was going on. I didn't want a real job. I didn't want a 9 to 5, but I also didn't want to be struggling. All of the money that I make goes towards like traveling, sending money back home for student loans because I am still paying student loans. Sally Mae, you know how I feel about you. Okay. Yeah, so my money goes to student loans, saving, and lots of food. I'm still working on eating here. I know that if I could just cook a little bit more, my money would go very far. But yeah, like the money that I make here is good money, and you can save so much out here. Like the cost of living is so much cheaper than it is in the States. So if you can manage your money right, then you're set. I wouldn't change my decision for anything. There are a lot of things that I do miss about home, but in all honesty, I don't give it a second thought in my daily life. There's nothing that is back home that would make me want to leave right now, aside from like family. Like, I'm content here, and I don't know how long I'll be abroad, but I'm happy, and that's all that really matters. Talking to a lot of other teachers out here, and a lot of foreigners or a lot of expats who live out here, we all kind of have something in common. Like, we came out here for selfish reasons. In order to move abroad, you have to be selfish. You have one thing and one thing in mind, and that is you. That's not a bad thing. You can come abroad to find yourself. You can come abroad to run away from something. You can come abroad just to see what else the world has to offer. There's nothing wrong with that. And at the end of the day, as long as you are happy and content with your decisions, then fuck it, do you. That's what I'm doing. Okay guys, that's all I've got for today. I hope that this is giving you a little bit more insight on potentially wanting to travel abroad. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. You can follow me on Instagram and Snapchat at aurirob and aurirob. I'll add it to the description box below. Until next time, peace.